Hello, my name is Larry Skinner. I am the Chief Operations Officer for FlexKom America Incorporated, headquartered here in Henderson, Nevada, which is just the next town over from Las Vegas, Nevada. And come on out and visit us if you'd like. We have an open office policy from 9 a.m. Pacific to 5 p.m. Pacific. Monday through Friday, you can come by the office, and we will greet you with open arms. So definitely come by if you happen to be in Vegas. People come to Vegas all the time, and this office is for you. I got to give you this disclaimer. Anything that's said on this conference call may be repurposed by FlexKom as FlexKom sees fit. So whether I say that or not on the next conference call or any other conference call, it is implied. All right, so with the housekeeping items, let's do item number one. We have people who somehow have deduced the email addresses of employees here or different staff members. That is going to add time to your getting a response on your issue if you send it directly to a particular person in the office. The first place you should start is with your upline. So if you just came in as a partner, then you should go to your upline. If you just came in as a merchant, go to the sponsor, the person that brought you into FlexKom. Next, go to the regional coordinator. Next, go to the state manager. Next, go to country manager, Bill resides. If you're going to contact the office, you want to send an email to American Support at FlexKom.com. That's American Support at FlexKom.com. And you don't want to try and send an email directly to, say, Volker Weinig or Tobias Engelsberger or Cengiz Ellis. You don't want to do that. That's going to add days, not just one day, but several days for them to take your email and send it back here to American Support. So you're adding time to receiving your response by trying to communicate with this international leadership group directly. Here in the office, you don't want to send things directly to co-CEO Gene Mullen. You don't want to send things directly to co-CEO Volker Weinig. You don't want to send things to Executive Assistant Paige Diller. I shouldn't have given her last name because that's how this whole thing started. So you don't want to do that. You want to send anything to Larry Skinner. You want to send it to American Support. Everything that comes into American Support is bifurcated. We're copied on it. Gene is copied on it as co-CEO, and I as COO of FlexKom America, I'm copied on everything that comes into American Support. That's right, everything. Sometimes wish I wasn't, but I am. So send it to American Support, and American Support will take your issue and get it to the right person. Once again, as opposed to calling in and leaving a voicemail message saying, why won't somebody call me? We like to go by documentation rather than conversation. We've all played that game in high school, grammar school, where you whisper something around the room, and by the time it gets back to you, it's the exact opposite of what you whispered. Also, we're humans. I know that humans like to think that they're perfect, but they're not. So if you and I had a conversation right now, as a human, the memory starts to degrade as soon as the conversation is over. As soon as you say a word, as soon as you see something, as soon as I tell you something, your memory of it starts to degrade. However, an email, as we've learned from the NSA, is forever. It never degrades. It's always there forever. So documentation is better because if you have a question, believe in yourself. If you have a question, then somebody that you meet, you're meeting one new person a day. If you're going by the plans that you hear from our co-CEO, Volker Weinig, or Asker Sakamenes, or Peter Guneveld, if you were in the room with these folks, Cengiz Ellis here, when we had the meeting here, the last meeting here in Las Vegas, told you that you should be meeting a brand new person every day. If you're actually doing that, then you're going to run into somebody that's going to have the exact same question that you're calling me to get an answer for. And then the second I tell you that answer, if I were to talk to you on the phone, you would lose that data because we're humans. That's how our memories work. Whereas with that email, if you give me bullet points that are issue number 1, issue number 2, issue number 3, you're succinct, you cut to the chase on the what the issue is, then we can fire back. The response for question number 1 is response number 1. The response for question number 2 is response number 2. Now you are armed to answer that question immediately in the middle of the night on Sunday, on Christmas Eve. If a partner prospect says, hey, well, what about this? You go, hey, wait a minute. I have a written response from FlexKom that answers that exact question. Not only are you armed to answer that question, you can actually take that email, cut out just that, copy that one line, and send that answer, specifically written exactly as we send it to you, and duplicate knowledge. Duplicate the exact knowledge, not just a kind of, sort of, or I believe, or I think. Here is the exact answer to that specific question. You're armed for bear, ready to take it down. So just know that's how we operate, from documentation as opposed to conversation, which, because we're humans, it starts to evaporate as soon as the conversation's over. The other thing, if you have anybody that's having any sort of PIN code issues, that is to say you're trying to kiss someone, sign somebody up as a customer, and some issue evolves there, their phone line drops or something like that, and they can't complete the process, or they accidentally typed in the wrong email address, didn't put in the real email address, which, by the way, is the most likely thing that causes a problem. They put in the wrong email address, and so our system sends the PIN code and the card number to the wrong place. That is the number one issue. People, in a haste to create their account, type in the wrong email address. Second most likely is that they put in an email address that they don't frequent very much. So they keep checking their AOL, for instance, and it's actually in their Yahoo, or vice versa, or whatever. But they either type the email address incorrectly, or they put in their second favorite or their fifth favorite email address because they didn't want to put in their major one for whatever reason. And then basically you're trying to help them out, and you send an email to Paige, which we had today. Don't do that, because then Paige gets several hundred emails a day, by the way, and your email's in there, and it takes her a while to get to it, and then she sends it to me, to American Support, because she knows that's where it goes. And she doesn't send it to Larry Skinner, by the way. Paige sends it to American Support. And when Jean gets something, guess where Jean sends it? Not directly to me. Guess where she sends it? American Support. We use it for communication. So you want to send everything to American Support at FlexKom.com. Even here in the office, we use that for communication. It is the best way to reach any particular person, and you may be sending it to, as this example with the person sending the email to Paige. You are sending it to specifically the wrong person to resolve that issue. You want to send it to American Support, because we'll get it to the exact right person to solve that issue. So do yourself a favor, cut to the chase, get it to American Support, and we will get it to the right department. When you get the power to change, so this is something that we want to go over a little bit here. When you get to our YouTube channel, we have now changed it so that there's a trailer when you first get to Power to Change. So our YouTube channel is Power to Change, POWER, the number 2, and then CHANGE, all one word, Power to Change. When you get there, you're going to see the earth in blue, and it looks like there's only one video in in that channel. There's several videos, I believe 70 videos in there. What you want to do is watch that main video, because that's how long is this? I think it's 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long. That video gives you an overview of FlexKom, and it only has 3,253 views right now. It should have some 10,000 to 50,000 views by now. If folks were driving people to our YouTube channel, every single partner should subscribe to our YouTube channel, because when we put any video up there, you're going to want to know about it. When we put your video up there, you're going to want to know about it. When we put up a video that's a tutorial video, many of them are not necessarily visible, but when we put anything that we want to go out to the public, you'll have an email sent to you that will notify you that this video is there, and then you, as an active partner, can take that video and start using it to market. That's how you know it's a video that's ready to go and ready to bring to your prospects and use for marketing to stay engaged. There's that word again, engaged, with your upline, your downline, and the sideline. What's the sideline? The sidelines are prospects, people that aren't in the game yet. Your upline's in the game, your downline's in the game, but the people on the sideline, they're on the sideline. You need to get them in the game. These videos are tools for you to get people engaged, get them in the game. So when you go to Power to Change, you'll see the globe. If you look above the globe, you'll see some navigation there. It says Home, and then it says Video. So the way that you get to the 70 videos or so that are in there is you click on Videos, and then you'll see them all pop out. We have other social media that you can engage with us in, basically through Facebook, of course, and Twitter and all that. If you need those links, then send an email to American Support at FlexKom.com. Sounds like I'm singing a song, and here's the refrain: American Support at FlexKom.com. It's just that simple, just that easy. And with that, we have gotten through our... That's it, yeah. So we've gotten through our housekeeping for the day, so we're going to go to open lines. Hold on for one moment. Okay, so what we're going to do is, you guys know how this works. We want to do these questions one at a time. Just hit star and then 6, and we'll take the questions one at a time. Go ahead. Sometimes it takes a little moment for the system to catch up with us, but
I hate to be
star.
I hate to always be first. I hate to always be first.
You are a first mover, sir. First caller.
I got 3 points. Point 1. Let's do this right, okay? Is that Larry? We're getting a lot of error messages. I sent a message today, but on our app when we try to scan and get our money back at a terminal, we're getting error message at the bottom of the app, and we're seeing a lot of that.
So you're at the terminal and you're trying to sign somebody up?
No, I'm getting cash back from like we ate a meal tonight. I sent you a screenshot of it.
Okay, yeah, we're taking a look at that. We have escalated that to Germany.
Mess, you're aware of that. That's all I want to know, okay? Second thing is...
Go ahead.
Oh, I know you fix it when you send it to Germany, so I don't worry anymore. So we're getting several of my merchants are coming back with the same response, okay?
Okay.
I hope the printers come out soon. I'm going to order more printers. That's one way to get around it. If somebody can't scan it then, you could give them a QR code. That makes sense.
Yes, sir, it does. Also, like we say, they in their back office, when they go into their merchant account, they can print out that QR code, laminate that, put it right there at the cash register.
You know, it's not signing up people. It's getting cash back is where we're having the problem.
Doing the transaction. Okay, yeah, that definitely. Yeah, you're right. The printer would get around that issue. So yes,
yeah,
sorry about that.
But y'all are aware of that.
Yes, we are.
Okay. My son's coming to Vegas next week, and he wants to come by and see the home office because he's in FlexKom with me. Does he need an appointment or need to call ahead or anything?
No, he doesn't need to, but if he sends us an email saying when he's going to be here, then we can try and make certain to make time for him so that co-CEO Gene Mullins or myself can be available for you.
Oh, thank you. Just Senator American Support, right?
Roger that.
Okay. I got 2 emails today telling me to turn on my terminals or activate my terminals. One of them had already been in place for 2 weeks. One had been in place for 3 weeks. There's no question they're okay. They've been working fine. Did I do something wrong? Did I put them in too quick?
No, probably what was happening is, as you remember, we had that bottleneck with the serial numbers not activating or the card not activating. We went through and pushed a bunch of those. We figured out what was wrong, and we made them active, and that's what those emails are regarding.
Oh, well, mine are all fine now because I checked all of them in Merchant's back office. And the last one I did the other day, and I just had to go to activate the POS, and that initially activated the cards. So there's no need for us to activate cards ever, is there? Just activate the POS if we're asked to. Well,
you want to activate the POS, and you want to activate one card. So when you're adding the POS, you want to put the last option in the merchant account. You actually have it probably memorized. I have to pull it up on the screen here. Let me pull it up on the screen so I say it right, unless you remember exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, there is an option to activate the cards, but we don't do that. We go below that and activate the POS.
Right. Hold on for 1 second.
I'll get mine up, too, so I can talk correctly.
All right. If you have a shorter email address would be nice for me.
I can pull up mine for my business here. But
okay, so under Management and then My POS Terminals, and then Add New POS Device. It says packet number, which is serial number, and then card number. So I'm talking about, so any of you that are listening here, and we had multiple merchant agreements in today, and thank you for that. Keep up the great work. And I know we have a lightly attended conference call where you guys tell your upline and downline that they're doing a great job. That what we're talking about is when you are first setting up that merchant, you go under Management and then My POS Terminals. And then you want to use the top option, which is Overview of all POS devices. You don't want to use the POS 3 overview unless you're installing a POS 3. So for POS 4, and then coming as soon as we get to that level, the POS 5, you're going to go into that same link at the top. You're going to click on Add New POS Device, And then this is where you're adding that particular terminal to this particular store, and you enter the whole serial number without any dashes or spaces. These are best practices. No dashes, no spaces, no separation between the numbers, just numbers. And then you add the one card. You take out one card from the 2 packets of cards that are in the box with the terminal, and you enter that just one of the card numbers. No dashes, no spaces, no periods, nothing separating the numbers, numbers only, and then hit that More button, and you'll get a little green bar come across the top that says, unfortunately, in German, you have been successful.
I've been going to POS activation. That's where I've been doing it. Is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but the best place to do it is right there, because that's in a place where it's going to populate out perfectly and everything. The other option, the other one that says POS activation.
Yes.
That one will work too. That was something that was put up for what you're going to see in the near future is that one's going to probably disappear, because the other one is the actual one. They put that one in when they had that problem with the POS 3.
Okay, so we really need to go to the bottom. It says My POS Terminals.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you go to My POS Terminals, you'll see the terminals that you entered through the other link. Right?
Yes, after you've entered it. Now, but I haven't used the card activation. We don't use that at all. Because when you activate the terminal, it activates the card. Is that correct?
That's how it's supposed to happen with this version of the POS 4S. But to be absolutely certain, and to make we've had people who've had issues with that. Then we had them go and do the card activation link. So under management, and then under My Stores, the next link is card activation. They could use that to activate just one of the cards. Will activate the whole pack.
Okay.
But if you're just setting it up from scratch, best practice is to go under management to My POS Terminals, and there'll be we have a tutorial that's in your back office that shows you this. We'll have a video out on Power to Change pretty soon that'll show you this as well. And you and I went over this, and that's actually up there. So that the audio on this is actually up in Power to Change right now. I believe it says Terminal Merchant Back Office Overview with Larry. What's your last name, Larry?
Holcomb.
Larry Holcomb. Jeez, it's been a long time.
Let me mute out. I'm going to stay here, but hopefully somebody else may have a question. Okay, thanks, Larry.
Larry?
Yes, David, go ahead.
Yes, good evening, David, Southern California. I broke protocol in reference to the digital email communication to corporate office, and that was only because I submitted an email a few weeks ago with the ID and the subject and a general statement as to what my concern was. And one of the staff accountants, I'm not going to name the staff accountant, but they responded to that email and gave me a terminal disposition, and it all has came to fruition, but with the exception of one terminal that is overdue from the date the staff accountant indicated to me I should receive it. And I sent her an email to receive an update. I didn't follow the protocol. I just stated at the onset of this call going to support, American support at FlexKom.com. I sent it directly to the staff accountant. In hearing what you just explained at the onset of the call, I broke protocol on that. But
no, don't worry about breaking protocol. In that regard, if somebody from our team sends you an email directly, then that means it went through the right system to get to you, and they need to speak to you directly. So that's fine.
Okay.
If somebody sends you an email directly from FlexKom and it's not American support, it's perfectly fine to respond to them. And if there's a follow-up like you were doing, you're within protocol.
Already.
What I was talking about is the initiating a query. You want to start with American support. Responding to an email that comes from, say, me personally or Gene or somebody in accounting or one of our other team members or Volker Weinig, then yes, by all means respond directly, yes.
Okay, copy. And also just a quick statement of gratitude to Larry Holcomb. I did receive that email with all the attachments, Larry, and I thank you, sir.
He is a stellar guy, and he'll be back to say you're welcome in a second here. But, David, keep up the great work, and I apologize for misstating there. It is definitely a matter that if any one of our team members here sends you a direct email, then we've already cut to the chase, and we're running the race, and you're in the right place. Hey, I rhymed 3 times in a row. All right, next question.
Copy on this end.
Roger that. Okay, next question, star 6. Okay, this happens on Fridays a lot, where people are just like they're driving, they're listening. If you have a question or you think of something while we're I'm doing a little bit more housekeeping, then hit star 6. We got about.
Hey, Larry.
Go ahead.
This is David in Georgia. The printers that we can order from an outside source outside of FlexKom, if I'm reading our agreement, it sounds like we may be voiding our warranty. Would you address that?
Yes, to be clear on that, by definition, from Peter Gundeveld himself has on this show said that if you use that printer, you may have voided the warranty. Here's what's happening. In my position as COO, there's certain protocols I have to adhere to. One of them is that if our Chief Information Officer says that it may void the warranty, then I have to acknowledge that and confirm that. Yes, it would be best if we had the UL and EC approval, UL Labs approval that this device is okay to plug into American outlets. But we have put it in the process with the UL approval and the CE Consumer Electronics approval. But with a government entity, as we talk about on this conference call on a regular basis, we have no control over that. So technically and by definition by our Chief Information Officer, you may void the warranty. So here's what happens. If nothing goes wrong, then it ain't broke. We don't need to talk about how to fix it. If something does go wrong, then our forensic programs here, when we get the terminal back, will show us that there was a Bluetooth connection, and it'll give us the, not to be too pedantic on this, it will give us the machine, what do you call that, the machine ID. It's not called the machine ID. It's the MAC address. It'll give us the MAC address of the device that's plugged in. If that MAC address does not match the MAC address of the series of MAC addresses for our Bluetooth terminals, our Bluetooth printers, then we'll know that you used an outside device. And if our forensics shows that the reason why this terminal isn't working is because there was some issue through the Bluetooth port, I know I'm being too technical maybe, but for some people I'm not being technical enough, then that would say your warranty is voided. But here's an example. You happen to use that device or some other Bluetooth device, and then something goes wrong with your terminal. We put it in here and bring it in here. We use this forensic program that we use to see the status of the terminal, and it turns out it was a manufacturer's defect from China of the processor chip, or the battery became disconnected or something like that. Then clearly the forensics about the Bluetooth would be irrelevant and probably wouldn't even be viewed. I'm just being honest and technical. So hopefully.
Okay, and so then to replace that machine, you'd have to buy the new one at the current, what we'd call retail price, as opposed to a Pioneer price?
That's right. That would be the full $950 U.S.
Okay, thanks for addressing it.
You're welcome. Sometimes, though, we've already done this, where the damage is not total and we're able to recover the device. You're just paying for any labor and hardware. For instance, like we had one person who cracked the screen, for example, and so we were able to replace the screen. And we just charge them for the labor to replace the screen and the cost of the screen. And then since it was a cracked screen, they had to pay for shipping here and shipping back.
Good enough. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, and keep up the great work. Excellent question, David. Thank you. Okay, next question. Hit star and then 6.
Larry, this is Dan. I'm sorry. A quick question, Larry, and I'll just hang it. How long does it take to turn around a terminal that's been repaired? And I'm on mute.
Okay, it depends on what's wrong with it. The example that I gave where the case was, the glass was cracked. It took me about 15 minutes to repair it and get it back, put it back in the mail. So the whole round trip with shipping here was about 2 days. My repair was effectively 1 day, a few minutes, but 1 day, and then shipping back was about 2 days. So the full turnaround was 5 days on that, but it depends on what's wrong with it. If it's something where we had some people who use put some sort of SIM chip in, and that damaged that SIM chip damaged the operating system, that was more extensive. And once again, we charged them for, like in the case of the broken glass, we charged them for the glass. With the SIM chip issue, where they put in some SIM chip, they were trying to play some video through the SIM chip or something like that, and the video purged the operating system. We had to charge them a couple $100 because it was several hours to fix it, and we had to basically replace the operating system. So it was not a small thing. So they paid several $100 for the repair, and they had to pay for shipping both ways because that was not a manufacturer's defect. It was their fault, and they shouldn't have done it. And don't put anything in the SIM port. Don't put anything in the USB port. Yes, it is a tablet, but if you use, Larry Holcomb will be the first to tell you, if you use this tablet to watch a video and go and watch YouTube or something, you're crazy. This terminal can make you money, and here you are rolling the dice that you don't accidentally do something wrong. You definitely don't want to put SIM chips in it or USB devices in it. So it just depends on what's wrong with it, how much is wrong with it. If we have to ship it back to China, the cost is prohibitive to us, and we'll just it's just like with the car. It can be totaled, where there's still functional parts of it, but it's totaled because the price of us putting parts in and the labors would be enough that it's a significant part of the $950 to repair this device. So it's totaled. Hope that answers the question. Have about 4 more minutes, so somebody is already on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, Larry, we sell the VIP terminal to the merchants through FlexKom. They do not.
That's right. What you're going to see is that you're going to see several options. We don't have them in your back office yet, so please hold on. You'll see in your back office under partner agreements, I believe it is, you'll see the different options for the different scenarios. So if you're a partner selling to a partner, you'll see a form for that. If you're a partner selling to a merchant, you'll see that. If you're a partner, a KTM selling to a partner, you'll see that. There's going to be a bunch of them in there, but the name of the file will tell you exactly what it's for. And then when you look at that PDF file, it's going to tell you at the very top exactly what scenario does this particular document relate to. Okay?
Well, Larry, even though you don't give dates, would you give us a date when you expect that?
I can't. You know me, I basically have been in the technological realm and even the direct sales realm for 30 years and technology for about 40 years, and can't give you a date because I don't control all the variables, so I only give dates, drop dead dates that are in the past. As far as this is concerned, this is a gilt edge priority. That is to say, we believe that it's very important, and every second that goes by that it's not in there, we feel guilty about it. So we are working on that, without end. We will be working this weekend, and here every time somebody says the word weekend, we laugh because the weeks never end.
What price did we pay for the VIP terminal? Did everyone pay the same price?
No, can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
What price did we pay you for the VIP terminal? So we got a VIP back in December. Have there been varying prices because of promotion?
Prices did vary. That is a very good question, and this is exactly the sort of question that I wish I had co-CEO Gene Mullen right here, right now. But I'm going to make a note to myself to answer that on Monday's call. So as a VIP...
Hey, Larry?
Yes.
Of course, I'm listening to your call. The terminals that were part of the upgrade were $350.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Gene. Perfect.
You're quite welcome.
All right. Fantastic. I love this show. So there's your answer. Okay?
All right.
All right. Great. Okay, we got 2 minutes, so I got enough time for one more question.
Well, Larry, this is Dan Chevalier. Do you hear Dan Chevalier's talking?
Yeah, I hear you, Dan. Go for it.
Okay. Hey, Larry, I sent an email in a couple of weeks ago. I received my 5 KTM terminals and my 1 VIP terminal when I upgraded at the KTM event. I received them. The KTM terminal will not charge. It just will not charge up. And I sent an email in about it asking, and I never got a response on it. I did not include my ID number in the subject line. I hope that's
That'll
not
always
the only
help.
reason.
Well, let's talk about the terminals. Go ahead.
No, that's all. I just need to get that. I do have one other question you may have answered. I'm going to just send another email in, probably yet this evening or tomorrow. I'll send another email in indicating what do I do with this thing. It won't charge.
Okay.
But
right.
the one other question I had: if I sign somebody up under the new approach, $3.99, and they really want to have a terminal, how do they get their hands on a terminal? Can they just buy one from FlexKom?
No, not from FlexKom. Basically, to be compliant in all 50 states, and you'll have we'll have some guests on from Europe on this conference call, and they always reference America as being 53 countries, because California is like 2 countries by itself, and I think New York is 2, something like that. So from their point of view, there's Northern California, that's one country, Southern California, that's another country. So when you're talking about I want to do 2 things here. With the terminal, just remind me to tell you the steps on that real quick, okay? And, I just got myself confused with my notes here. Hold on for 1 second. So let me just address the what to do with a terminal that will not light up, okay? So what you do is you basically leave it alone for about 2 days. In 2 days, even if you can't turn it on, it should drain the battery out, right? Okay?
Okay.
And then you want to try it again, and you want to just basically try to plug in the power into the connector that's on the back of it. Okay. At the moment that you plug in you have the American power supply that plugs into the wall, right?
Right.
Okay, perfect. All right, so you plug the adapter back into the back of the terminal, and then when you do that and it's plugged in the wall, you should see that little battery charging icon come up.
Right.
If it does,
it always
does. It always does.
But it never does anything.
Okay, but the battery, it does show the battery, and it's a red line at the bottom of the battery. Is that right?
Right, in like a lightning bolt in it, and I can leave it plugged in like that. I've done it for 24 hours, and that's all it ever does. It never charges up.
Okay, in all probability, and folks, don't do this unless you're having this exact issue. In fact, come on this call before you do what I'm about to say. What I want you to do is, instead of plugging it into the back of the terminal, right?
Yeah.
I want you to unplug that little interconnector that comes around to the front. I want you to plug it into that port in the front. Okay.
Oh. Okay, gotcha.
I think we have a bad little interconnector.
In other words, bypass that little cable.
Affirmative, because I believe you might have a little loose terminal there, a little loose interconnector. Okay.
Well, yeah, I've noticed the interconnectors do not fit well together. You need to talk to the guys that make them in China.
We definitely take all feedback, and I'll definitely say, Peter, there's another person that said the same thing that I've said. We got to make that a snug fit. So cut to the chase there. That'll remove that. This is just troubleshooting 101.
Gotcha.
You're removing something that might be a problem from the equation. You're plugging it straight into the front, and then you'll probably see that it'll do the thing that you've seen before, and then you'll see it turn. It'll start flashing green and things like that after an hour or so.
Gotcha. Okay, I will do that.
What was the other question, though? What was the other question?
Larry, I'm 70 years old. I forgot.
I'm 55 years old, and I forgot, too. I cannot remember it. Well, Larry Holcomb's on here. He always comes to the rescue.
Oh,
Larry
I know.
Holcomb
The other question was, if I sign up a new person, which I might tomorrow, and he really wants to have a terminal in his hands, how does he get a terminal? Does he have to buy it from FlexKom?
Okay, yes, we did address this a little bit earlier in the conference call. That's what we were talking about when we said when you go into your back office under downloads, you're going to see a whole bunch of things in the partner agreement section. And these are going to be different agreements where, for example, your partner that has a KTM terminal, and you just signed up, and we have a lot of people signing up as new partners, and welcome to the opportunity and to this call, and we are going to embrace you, and we're going to teach you everything you want to know. So welcome to the call. If they come in like today, this weekend, a month from now, and they want the terminal because they feel that they can do better by having a terminal to use as a teaching tool, they will be able to use you will be able to transfer a terminal to them as a teaching tool, but it will strip out your KTM attributes or your VIP attributes, and it will be a terminal that can never do anything but log into the test account, 4351 with a password to 123456. They can never be placed into a merchant because it will...
Okay, so, but if I don't want to give one of my terminals away because I want to place all 6 of them, the 5 KTMs and the 1 VIP, if I don't want to give one of them away, how can that person get one, or can't they?
What's going to happen, and you'll see this on Facebook, and this is just my own personal feeling about what's going to happen, is that on our Facebook page, people will say, I have a terminal that I want to that I'm willing to let go, and Gene would be able to tell you the exact scenario where FlexKom has to be involved in the transaction. But there'll be a form that'll tell you exactly what the steps are in your back office, that if you're a partner in wherever you are in the country, in New York, and you have a partner in a brand new partner who wants a terminal for demo purposes, the process for doing it is explained in the document. The document name itself in your back office will tell you that this is a partner-to-partner exchange for demo, and then you fill out that form as according to that. And as far in general for that partner-to-partner exchange for a demo, I believe we are not in the loop as far as transacting any cash. That's between the two of you, and we are hands-off on that transaction. So if I'm wrong, Gene will pipe in here in a second.
Hey, Larry.
Okay.
Hey, Larry. Or they can call me, and I can convince them they don't need a terminal.
Mr. Holcomb, we have him on record as saying his technique is to go in there with a smartphone and a whole pocket full of dumb cards, and that's his selling technique. Because it would work on me if you show me, you pull out all those cards. It's like, oh man, yeah, been there. Don't want to do that. All right, so we are at about 6:36. What we're going to do is this. On Monday, we will have the regular conference call at 6 p.m., but let's kind of run down what happens on your average Monday. We're going to have the conference call with Bill Resides. So the Bill Resides Blog Talk Radio is at 7 a.m. Pacific, making it 10 a.m. Eastern. And then at noon Eastern, making it 9 a.m. Pacific, there's the Volker Vinik webinar. Attend that, and definitely do that. And then at the end of the day, at 6 p.m. Pacific, making it 9 p.m. Eastern, we have this Q&A conference call. So that's Monday. On Monday, I should be able to give you a full hour. So just be looking forward to that. If you have any questions in the meantime, send an email to americansupport@flexkom.com. If you have any suggestions, guess where you send it? americansupport@flexkom.com. And believe me, we take your suggestions and we try and hammer those into tools that are in your back office for you to build your business. We'd love your suggestions. Okay, going to have to get running here unless somebody has like a pressing question. Anybody? Okay, we're going to table this until Monday. My name is Larry Skinner. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for FlexKom America, and we will talk to you on Monday. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend.
Thanks, Larry. Pat Lana.
Thank you, Pat Lana. Okay, bye-bye, folks.